What's going on? How y'all doing? It's RedEyeAV. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we gonna get on something a little different, all right? So, Native Instruments just dropped a new choir plugin from Collier. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And, and it's free. But, the one thing that gets me about, like, choir plugins is that I can't really tell the difference between each plugin. They all sound similar, right? Aside from the East-West brand, they make a really cool plugin for choir voices. But today, I want to try something new. I want to put everything in context. All right. I'm going to talk about what that means later. But first, I want to do a quick little preview of the plugin. Let's get into it. The audience choir plugin made by Collier. If you don't know who Collier is, he is a multi-Grammy winning artist, has worked with the likes of like everybody that's anybody in the music industry. And what he does this really cool thing on tour where he'll go to these different places and he will have the audience sing in ways to kind of make them a choir. So he has essentially amassed all of these different voices to kind of create this really cool plugin. Again, it's free. Let's point out just some things that you probably want to know about it. So first of all, it has these different just voicings, right? So you got the ums, right? You got the oohs. Actually, that's kind of slick. All right, and you got the e's, and you got the ahs, right? The choir-led ahs. All right. So that's really cool. First of all, there's also a chord generator in here, which I like a lot. So if you don't like building chords and stuff like that, hit that good old chord generator button, pick a key. I don't know. Let's go with A. You could also pick the key also along with the what's the scale, whether it's a major, minor, or harmonic minor scale. Let's go with minor because I'm feeling a little sad today. Let's go with A. So again, a lot of things is being done just by me hitting buttons, just simple buttons, which I like a lot, or on my MIDI keyboard, just simple keys. Okay, so another function that I wanted to actually explore on here was the loop function as well. The loop function allows you to loop through the different phrasings that it gives you. I'm just gonna pick. Let's go through a couple. Let's try the oohs and the ums, right? So when you hit this play button and you have it looping forward, you can have it looking forward, backwards, or however, or you can have it do both or whatever the case may be. I'm just, for the sake of this, you can go, we're going to do forward. You can also control the playback speed. Is it going to play a halftime, the end time, or double time, right? So this is, I'm hitting a key on my, again, we're going to generate a chord. Let's go C minor, and we're going to hit a key on the MIDI keyboard and just see what it does. Right, so it's cycling through that ooh and that phrase. And let's do something a little more drastic. So it has a full circle where it'll literally go through all of these phrasings. So let's try this. I'm gonna change the key to A minor, and let's see what it sounds like. Right, so to be honest, I'm not sure how often I'd be using the loop function unless I'm scoring something, or you doing sync licensing, you going for a certain cinematic feel. But I still think it's a really cool option to have on a free plugin. You know what I mean? Also, I want to point out that there are macros, these parameters that you can control, the dynamics, the triad blend. Like, you can change how the choir sounds blended together, and when it comes to the harmonics or the scales that they're singing in. You got timbre, delay, reverb, stereo, widening, attack, and release. Again, I'm a fan of keeping those things in a plugin that would allow you to continue to stay in a plugin without having to open up a third-party plugin, reverb, stereo widening and stuff like that. Especially on a Context 7. Again, if you run it how I'm running it, you run a couple instances of these on a MacBook Air, it's eating up your CPU. So I'm glad that they're saving me some energy and some time. So as far as what we're going to do, what are we going to do? We need to figure out, sure, it's a cool plugin, but how does this work in context? What is context? And I ain't going to get super nerdy on y'all. But it's important to know that if you're going to be using this for what you're going to be using it for, how do you know if it's useful? How do you know if it's something that you're going to be able to go back to or you're going to be able to rely on continually as you are producing various things? So I kind of created 3 different styles. So the first style, which we're going to check out, is going to be a beat kind of like in the style of, you would say like Pusha T, right? Like, or at least like this kind of, or Rick Ross. It's like a simple trap pattern where I'm just playing. Again, I use that chord generator piece. Okay, we're on it here right now. I use the chord generator piece to generate these simple chords. All right, so let's play it. What does it sound like? And again, drums not doing a whole lot, right? It's just a simple little drum trap pattern. So yeah, so I like this. I like how it came out. Again, I'm using a choir as a choir in this one, right? Not a whole lot of processing, not a whole lot of anything else going on at all. But just, a way to use it. Definitely just a way to be able to utilize this plugin for sure. So secondly, I kind of wanted to use this choir plugin to give me the feel of Drake kind of in between that first and that second album, if you will. So I did something a little more unique. I hope my CPU don't get torn to bits by doing this. Y'all can see it's already getting up there. Right, so this one is, again, also using the choir as a choir, but this is more so using the choir like it's a pad in the background of the beat, more than even just a choir, right? So there's definitely a way to use it in like a trappy trap beat, emo hip-hop type beat. So and thirdly, I wanted to kind of use it in a way that is a little more universal, if you will. So, I wanted to use it in a way that was kind of like poppy. So I wanted to, in my brain, again, when you're making music for other people or when you're trying to pitch music to bigger artists, you want to be able to get in the mind of them. Right. And so I was like, what if I had to write a song for Post Malone and you utilize different effects and they said, hey, it would mean a lot if you had like a weird little techno choir in the background or something like that. And so I definitely I recorded this, some dummy vocals or whatever, so don't judge me, but some dummy vocals over this kind of like popish Post Malone sounding song. And so this isn't a complicated beat or anything like that. I got a couple loops off of Splice, and then I added in this choir effect. I definitely recorded some reference vocals, if you will. Again, just because you want to be able to be a step ahead when it comes to creating, even if just whatever comes to your mind. So I'm going to play this toward the end of the hook, and then I'm going to see, just so you can kind of get closer to what it actually sounds like with that choir and what I did with it.
Never change, only when always change for you. Yeah, you never change. You always stay the same. Yeah, you never change. All you want is change for you.
Right, so that's what it sounds like. This is what the choir sounds like by itself. This kind of gated sidechain type choir. So I just want to play it, and I'll tell you what's on it in a moment. And so with this one, this wasn't extreme. Again, wasn't extremely complicated. I literally just threw this one knob pumper from Waves. Hey, yo, the pause. One knob pumper on here. Again, nothing too crazy, but if you're doing more of an EDM pop style, I can see this being a really cool sound, especially if you're going to be using it in tandem with that loop effect, that looping. So I'm trying to pull it up so I can reference it, but that looping option that I had brought up earlier, right? So this right here. So definitely worth trying, especially on different styles. Just some unique ways to use this plugin. This is not sponsored, but there's a link in the bio if you want to check this out, because again, I'm a person that's a fan of free plugins. Any up and coming producer, artist, this is definitely going to be something you want to keep in your arsenal. A lot of cool things you can do with this. I am curious to see what you do with it. Drop a link in the comment. I definitely want to. If you use this plugin, I definitely want to. I'll react to it on my channel as well, just because I want to see how far you can take this. I also can see people using this for like sync licensing. You making music for commercials, movies, that type of thing. This is definitely like, they spend thousands of dollars getting real choirs in those spaces. So if you're a person that's a bedroom producer like me, definitely something you want to check out. But y'all know what it is. RedEyeAV. Peace. Love.